Ma'am, you can start, ma'am. Please start with welcome address, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Akshaya, ma'am.
Am I audible, Vijay?
Yes, you're audible, ma'am. You can start.
Okay. Thank you.
Now you're audible.
Thank you. Uh, a very good evening to one and all present here. On the behalf of the Department of Commerce, University of Madras, the Madras University Commerce Alumni Association, and Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shashan Jain College for Women, it gives me immense pleasure to warmly welcome you all to today's webinar on determination of sample size and sampling error. In the present research-oriented environment, selecting the appropriate sample size and sampling error plays a major role in ensuring the validity and reliability of research findings. Additionally, sampling error plays a major role in ensuring the
Ma'am.
validity and reliability of research
So, one
findings.
second, sir.
Akshay.
Yes, sir.
Akshaya, ma'am, you weren't audible for a few minutes.
Yes,
Kindly
ma'am.
start the welcome address from beginning now.
Okay, am I audible now, Vijay?
Yeah, you are audible now, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, some technical error.
Yeah,
So
no
I'll
issues.
start now.
Yeah, you can start from the beginning.
A very good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of the Department of Commerce, University of Madras, the Madras University Commerce Alumni Association, and Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shashan Jain College for Women, it gives me immense pleasure to warmly welcome you all to today's webinar on determination of sample size and sampling error. In the present research-oriented environment, selecting the appropriate sample size and understanding sampling error plays a major role in ensuring the validity and reliability of research findings. At this juncture, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our program directors, Dr. R. Shanti, Professor and Head, Department of Commerce, University of Madras, Dr. A.G. Vijay Narayanan, Assistant Professor, Aided, D.G. Vaishnav College, Dr. Haridayal Sharma, Assistant Professor, Aided, D.G. Vaishnav College, and Dr. A.S. Nagalata, Assistant Professor, Aided, for their constant guidance and support in organizing this academic event. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizing committee members for their dedicated efforts in making this webinar possible. It's now my privilege to introduce our esteemed resource person for the day, Dr. A.S. Nagalata. Dr. A.S. Nagalata is currently serving as Assistant Professor Aided, Research Supervisor, and Guide in the Department of Commerce, Sri Kandasami Naidu College for Men. She holds a doctorate in commerce from the University of Madras, along with MPhil, MCom, and NET qualification. With a rich teaching experience of 20 years at the undergraduate level and 18 years at the postgraduate level, she has significantly contributed to commerce education and research mentoring. She has guided over 8 MPhil scholars, and under her supervision, 5 PhD scholars have completed their thesis. Dr. Nagalata has also published research articles in UGC Care and Scopus Index Journal, presented papers at various conferences, and received Best Paper Awards. With her vast experience and expertise in research methodology, we are confident that today's session will be highly insightful and beneficial to all the participants. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to everyone present, and now I invite our distinguished resource person, Dr. A.S. Nagalata, to kindly take over the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot for giving an introduction about me. With a blessing of our gurus, I thank my alma mater. And this day is happened because of my gurus, what they have given me. And I'm ready to share what I have, some knowledge towards this research. And thank you for giving a very wonderful introduction to me, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
I thank Dr. Thank you, Dr. M.B.R. Lalan sir, Dr. Ranganathan sir, Dr. O.R. Krishna Swami sir, and my guru ultimate, Dr. R. Shanti ma'am, head, Department of Commerce, University of Madras, for giving this opportunity to me and trusting me that I can do some sort of justification in this area. So we'll go to our session. So we have discussed from the beginning what is research and what are the, we can say, what is the key important terms which is used in the research, how the research literature should be addressed and to be used for your research work. We even discussed different types of what do we say, data and how to collect the data. On sometimes we can discuss about samples and different types of samples, how the samples could be used for the research purpose. So this is a complete sum up of what we have seen. And today is a very small session. It only narrates what is sample size, how we're going to determine, and what of errors that will occurs at the time of choosing the sample size. Okay, so how to overcome. So these are the aspects that we're going to make a look on today's session as a brief about it. So samples. Samples is a subset of the universe which you want to investigate about your research. For example, you are going to investigate the opinion of a particular brand. We can take it opinion of Zodio boutique or Zodio textile. So about you have to investigate most of the college going students. Okay, so if my population is college going students, either it is maybe high, I'm choosing only for higher education, just imagine. So if in that cases, whether they are professionals or they may be an arts and science college students, okay, or they're going to learn diploma. So these are the people will come under the higher education level. Okay, so this higher education, what is the infinite population. So I cannot define this is the number of students of college students are available in Chennai. So whether you're taking a Chennai city or you're going to take a Coimbatore or you're going to take entire Tamil Nadu, it does depend upon your study what you're going to investigate. Okay, so in that category, I'm going to choose a subset. I'm going to choose a representative of the population. So that I say it is the samples. So this samples must represent and must be connected to my population in a right sense so that it will not cause any error to me. So that we're going to learn in the next slides. It's coming up the next slides. So this is a just imagine there are the four people I'm going to choose, and this four people is my universe. Okay, their scores are something like this: 4, 9, 5, 6. Okay, so the complete value of the mu that is comes under population mean. So the population mean where I'm going to get addition of all the scores of the four people and divide by 4. This is comes around 6. So it comes under as population mean for my study. So I'm gonna choose two of the people as a sample. So imagine if I'm going to take a score of two people, that is 4 and 6. Now, what does the sample mean here? If I add 4 plus 6 divided by 2, I'm getting 5. Absolutely, which is not connected to my universal mean. So this is cause error. Okay, so where my universal mean is not almost near to my sample mean, there is an error in the sample size. So while choosing the sample size, we should be very conscious enough in order to justify it should be somewhat errorless and flawless. So the same example, I take another two people's mean and the two people's score. This is 4 and 9. Now you add and you'll get the value is 5.5, which is almost near to 6. So this is somehow we can justify the sample size is okay with a further study that we can forward into that. So now we're going to see how to calculate the sample size in the two steps. So there is a two way that you can go and look forward the size, whether you know it is called as finite set, finite population, and you don't know the number of population people available or a subject available. So that will become as an infinite. So when you have infinite population, this is the calculation formula. So S is a sample size which you're going to determine for an infinite population where you cannot number them. They are unknown. The number is unknown. Okay. So in that cases, you have to go for this formula that is Z square into P into 1 minus P divided by M square. So let me give explanation of what each item is all about. Number one, Z. Z is a score about confidence level, the probability that you choose it for a parameter which is fall under the specific range of value. So normally we believe the parametric value, it's about 95% is confident. 5% can be cause some sort of error in the research. So sometime it will be 99% of confident, only 1% error will be allowed it as part of it. So sometimes even 90% of confident level will be there. That is the thing, you are particular and you are sure about the values, whatever that you have taken, it is true for 90%. So Z value which is available for a 90%, 95%, and 99%. So this is value will be drawn from the table of Z value. So and P stand for population. It is in probability, assume almost 50% will be choosing from the thing. See, when you say the sample size, there is two miscomfort discussion always will be there. The people say 1/10th of the population will be taken, a 30% of population will be taken. See, when about like the population is about 2 lakh, population is about 20 lakhs. You cannot go to the people which is 30% or a 10%, imagine 20,000 or a 2,000. So it is not possible to collect the data because the time and the resource, everything is important. So that cases. So this formula will help you out to justify your part of selection of number of samples in this case. So we believe there's a one more myth that say, of course, it is acceptable when you keep on increasing your sample size, the error will be get reduced. But problem is this, when your sample is not normally distributed, then it is not going to be represent your entire population. Unless and until it is normally distributed, you keep on increasing the number of samples, okay, but it will not represent the what we say, the population mean will not be equal to the sample mean. By the time it causes error. So two things, the size of population mean should be near to sample mean. That is very important. So here we go with the population probability is 50% and margin of error. As I told you, the confidence level is 95%, error will be 5%. So 5% will be 0.05 that normally we say. So with this formula, let us calculate. Infinite population, imagine your population is 2 lakh, okay, or maybe a 20 lakh. So we'll go with this formula, that is Z value, I'll take it for 95% is a confident level. The value, can you see here? It is 1.960. So I take this value as a Z value. Then as obviously the probability is about 0.5% and M value, margin of error, it is 0.05. With the help of this formula, I will fix like this. So Z square into P value 1 minus P value divided by margin of error. So if I simplify, I will come to get a number 384.16. So it means 384 is enough for representing 2 lakh population or a 20 lakh population. Okay, so it is a normal justification. Of course, this number should have normally distributed to all the population, then only it could be acceptable. So next we can check the same thing with other numbers. Imagine when you say adjusted samples. See, when I know my population is been defined. Okay. So imagine I'm gonna take students, those who have completed their MBA. Okay. So in the next maybe last 5 years from Madras University. Okay, so the MBA students, those who have completed last 5 years MCOM, Madras MBA, MCOM, Madras University, I can easily number them. Okay, so imagine I can take the database from the Madras University, or maybe if I want to check with that database of MCOM, so I can take the numbers in last 5 years and verify. I can choose the population. Okay. So when my population is defined, okay, by the time we have to use this formula. So this formula speaks about adjusted sample size, S by I, and S is plus S minus 1, sorry, S by 1 plus S minus 1 by population. So when you know the population, S is previously that we have identified the value. Can you see here? The S is 384.16. So this is about like infinite population value. So when you take infinite population value divided by 1 plus the same infinite value 384.16 minus 1 divided by 1 lakh, because my population which I know it is 1 lakh. For a 1 lakh, how many respondents that I'm going to choose? So that will be worked out here. So it is 384.16 divided by, when you subtract from 1 and divide by 1 lakh and you add 1 from this end. So together you'll have 383 as the sample size for 1 lakh. The same way you can apply for a 50,000 population. So the same formula, S by 1 plus a bracket of S minus 1 divided by population. So you apply and you will arrive 381.25. So when the population decreases, the number of sample get increases. Okay. So this I have referred from Core in WG from his book Sample Technique, which is also reflected in GS Satish Kumar sir by My Easy Statistics. Now we're gonna speak about sampling error. Of course, error occurs in all the place. While choosing the sample, you should be very conscious enough and very cautious enough in order to choose your samples. See, I'm going to get an opinion from a person who have satisfaction of using metro. Okay, so if I gonna randomly choose a pick one person, randomly choose and pick one person. So he is the first person and he is having experience only one time. Okay, how can I get such a detailed, what we say, opinion from him about the metro train? It is something like error. The person who doesn't know about completely about concept and you take as is a part of a sample, it is nevertheless it's a big error. So here we go with the sample error is a statistical error that occurs when the sample does not represent your entire population, because the population should be a very important item to study about your research. So when your sample fails, the entire study fails. So this error occurs because of sample isn't perfect miniature of the whole population, which lead to a different between sample results and true population value will be differ. So it is also called as a statistical error. Why this? When we say the sample error occurs, see when you choose a random verification. So as I told you, the fundamental reason the sample is just a part of the whole population, and sometimes it may not be reflect the behavior of the population. Okay. So next we can say a sample size. So sample size, as I told you, which is very smaller. Previously I have explained. If I have chosen two people's value, one has come to 5.5, another come to 5. Okay, so it shows that the reliability, the universal mean, which is not closed and exactly when it has been 5. Okay, so when it is 5.5, it is almost near. The sample size is small, probably your error comes as part of it. And population variability. See, there is a lot, when you choose the population, it should be a homogeneous. When there is an heterogeneous population, the opinion is also get differs. Okay. See, when you take a data about, see, I don't want to make a controversy, but still, when you think about educational policy, the new educational policy, so there is a lot of heterogeneity. Okay, so heterogeneous, where if I take few people's opinion, I cannot generalize it. when that subject, the complete population is heterogeneous. It is when you choose a sample size, it will be very conscious because it cannot be represent the entire heterogeneous population. Okay, then sampling framework, frame error. See, sometimes your sample, when you frame it, like what sort of population that I'm going to investigate, where they are ready to give their data and how to reach them. So these and all is a sample design. So when you're not sure about the sample frame, and when you're not going to have a proper strategy to take up our samples, then the complete work will be get absolutely collapsed. See, like when you're going to investigate about the transgender study, probably these people are connected together in some sort of link. Okay, so when you go for a snowball sampling, that will be very helpful for, because one person will direct another person, other person can direct another person. So this is will be very useful. But the problem is that selection bias here comes around. Why? Because the same mentality of people, like-minded people, only direct the other. So you may have a chance to give up the other category of people where they also equally important for the study. Okay. So that time the selection bias, of course, make a sampling error. Then non-response bias. This is about like people, they are part of that population. They also represent the characteristics of the population, but they are not interested to give opinion. They are not interested to give their perception towards that, towards the study. So these are the core source of a sampling error which may occur. And how to reduce this sampling error? So you should know the true representative of the population. It's very important. See, when you do a study, you should know whom this study is going to be addressed and what sort of problem it is going to be solved. Okay. See, when you think about waste management, okay, in city, how far this waste management could be overcome in the different perspective. It's a very big, vast study. But when you take a point where how this waste will be recycled, that could be a possible to do a limitation of the study. So recycle aspects and recycle industry will be chosen. So for your study, how they are going to manage the waste. So true representation of the population is required. While choosing a population, you should be very conscious to pick the sample here. And the population specification. See, when you say population specification, as I told you the previous example, when the waste management comes, there are different roles will be played. For example, role of a we say a civilian, role of a people who engaged in waste management picking process, and a role of a government, like how they're going to manage the waste which they have taken for a particular period, like maybe the dump yard, and how it has been maintained. So the population which I am going to investigate, I should be very specific. I cannot touch all the things. I cannot go for all the perspectives. So it is highly time taking, and you will not be narrowed down unless and until the research time is very less. So the same way, as I told you previously, there is a research done by a lady about incubation. It is about baby incubator. So baby incubator is a specific problem where she identified the mortality of the population. She narrowed down to baby infant mortality rate. So this infant mortality is a complete population specification for her. And that too she chosen the mortality rate in government hospital. Okay, so the population specification must be completely narrowed down so that your samples will be very consciously picked from that. Sampling design is very important. Like as I told you, the same example about like baby incubator mission. The sampling design, how will you choose? You will go to each and every government hospital on that particular locality. So where this where this infant and the mom will be taking care simultaneously. So this is, you have to be very specific, and you have to number them, the total hospital. From total hospital, you have to choose the people or randomly given a birth to a child. Okay, so this is completely based on, if you go stratified random or maybe a specific random based, then your error will be very, very less. Then we can go for an sample accuracy. As I told you, the population sometime, if it is heterogeneous, it is highly not possible to pick your right samples. When you try to make it a subset of homogeneity, then you choose your samples from the subset. And sampling method, obviously, I have told you. So when you go for a snowball sampling, like-minded people will be encouraged. Okay. So different people may not be supporting for your research. So while choosing your method, you have to give equal opportunity for the entire population. And sample selection, probably very less if you choose the same way, the cause of error will be more. And increasing in sample size is the right sense, but it should be generalized when it has been, what we say, normally distributed. So finally, the non-sampling error. So this non-sampling error, it is not statistical. It will be very conscious enough, because these are man-made error. Fine. So these all are those error occurs at the time of study, census sampling, or from maybe flaw of designing or execution or analyzing. Sometime our own idea will be indulged in it. So we will not accept, and we'll expect what we want to say, that should be in the result. So this really completely biased. Okay. Sorry. So the coverage and frame error, it's very important. You cannot take all the population, so you should limit and specify your population. Then only it is easy to draw a sample from them. You should list whom that I'm going to address. And now the non-response error. Of course, the people will not answer. They are not ready to answer for all the time. They'll take time. Sometimes they may lie. Okay. So, for example, there's a problem I have met. See, I asked one person, a manager, sir, what is your income? Yes, what is your problem with my income? He literally asked me, what are you going to do about my income if you know? And if I ask age specifically, okay, the people may not ready to answer the age. Okay. And if they say, what are the, property that you have? People may not come with the real answers, true answers. So sometimes not easy to get the answer, which is part of our research. So measurement error. So we say the interview bias. See, as I told you, like what and all I want to know, I'll be fixing in the questionnaire, and I'll asking the people to answer for my expected answer. So this is about like bias completely, which is occurred in this case, and data processing error while doing a data entry. See, there is, when we'll be doing a framing a questionnaire, there will be a positive question and negative question. So the positive questions, as we believe, will be given more credential, and negative questions will be reverse the value. Okay. So while giving to that particular coding to the question or a statement, we should be conscious enough which one is positive based and which is negative based question. Based on that, we have to give a coding or data and value. So if it is get mistake, the overall mean will be different. Response bias, deliberately they will lie, and problem admin identification of error. Sometimes we don't know whether the population mindset will keep on changing. See, some maybe it is about situational, obviously. Or when we say like people are, what is your retirement plan? So they have their own ideology. Some people will be come out with their own experience and say this plan is good. Some people will listen to others and they will share others opinion to us. So it is, we don't know whether the people are being part of our research, they are the part of a population or not. It will be get doubtful. And how this non-sampling error should come down. Specific the area, like you have to be very defined, the same thing. An appropriate sample frame, complete the data collection on time, or maybe take time to see error free data has been collected and it is not half finished. And minimizing the error in the instrumentation. See, while you have prepared an excellent questionnaire which is flawless, which would cover almost all the population, and with a normally it is distributed to everybody, every population it is represented in this case, so your error will be get down. And use of this suitable data collection method. So whether sometime observation is enough, sometime interview is enough, sometimes maybe randomly chosen questions will be helpful for them to come out with an answer. Avoid a short timing for data collection. So try to give maximum time in order to get the real fact, so which has been reflect your results. And caution of data processing, you should be very conscious to not to make a mistake. And pre-testing or post-study will help you out to minimize your data error and your sampling error. So with this, and I want to show you, like instead of using that formula, you can also go for an online software, which is also help you to go for a sample size selection. For example, this is comes under Soft sample size calculator. So where this will be taken from online just like that. I'll show you like how to go with this. When you go to Google, you can mention online sample size calculator. There is a lot of softwares, but I most prefer Soft. Which will tell you, like, see what margin of error you can accept. 5%. You can reduce to 1% even. Okay, you can reduce to 1% even, and where the confident level you can make it as 99%. Okay, so I want 1% of margin of error, 99 percentage of accuracy, we can say. And here population size. When your population size is 20,000 and it is about 99% confident level, you supposed to go for an 9,068 respondents. You have to go for 9,068 respondent. See, I want to change my confident level to 5% and my error level is 5%, confident level is 95 percentage. See, the value is got down. First it was 9,068, now it is 3,077. Okay. So this is what normally you can find a sample size. There are another softwares also which will help you out. See, in the same thing, when my population is 20,000, when my population is more than 20,000, imagine it is almost 2 lakh, 20 lakh. Now, see what is the value here you arrived? It is 385. Now we have seen 384 when we are manually calculated. Okay, so same thing is reflected here with the help of software. 385. So even it is goes on more, it will not change. It will be as it is. Okay. When you keep on reducing it, can you see the number is get changing? 377. When it is 2,323. When it is 200, 132. So this is how you can fix your value in this case. You can choose your samples from help of this software. Today the session was very short because we are discussing only the sample determination size as well as how to overcome the sample size. If you have any doubt, let me help you to solve that. Ma'am, I have completed the session.
Yeah.
People, you have any doubt, let me know.
NAGALATHA nowadays, if you go for 384 and do a multivariate analysis, I think Dr. Vijay Narayanan is here. Uh, we do not get that reliability. Can you
Yes,
answer?
ma'am, it is true. Yes, ma'am, it is true. We said is 384 is enough. But it is we stick with that. You have to work on more in order to get that entire value should go for proper reliability. So if your reliability is really good and it is acceptable, then 384 is sufficient. If it is not sufficient, it's supposed to increase your sample size, ma'am.
There is also another method for arriving at a sample size. You have so many statements, right? So that statements into 10 or into 15 or some go by into 20. So if you have some 20 statements, because we do the factor analysis and other thing for this, so it can be
Yes.
20 into 20. So that way also there is a way of arriving at the sample size. But all Viva, this is one of the pertinent question that is being asked, and still so far we are yet to say, okay, this is the method. Because if you say 384, yes, this is using a formula, I do understand. But when you do the analysis, this is not enough. And how do I justify? Sample size says 384, but you collect somewhere around 600, 700. And then naturally the examiner will ask you, what made you to collect? So how do we justify this answer?
Ma'am,
Maybe this
obviously
question is
we'll be looking into it. Yes, ma'am, it is as you said. With the help of only 400, with the help of 500, with the help of 600 questionnaire, how you will be arriving a conclusion that the data, whatever that is collected, and it is part of your research justification. Madam, there are other, what we say, test is also available in order to justify. Normally, reliability, normality, and we can say, and Convac alpha, data adequacy. So these and all the different tests will support us in order to justify the number which we have drawn. A sample of 500 or a 600 is sufficient enough to generalize our statement with a research area. Ma'am, am I answered, ma'am? This is what I know, like how to justify the value sample size that we arrived with the help of these tests.
this is one way. Okay, yeah, I do understand. Maybe from the audience, any research scholars, maybe I will like them to come for a discussion.
I request Vijay Narayanan sir to give his own input for this question. Sir? Sir, are you with us?
Ma'am, good evening.
Yes, madam.
I'm Dr. C.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Your
Shashwat Jain
voice
College
is
from the
breaking.
department. And now, is it audible, ma'am?
Yeah, ma'am. Now it is clear.
Ma'am, madam told that to arrive at a sample size, the number of statements in a questionnaire can be multiplied by a reasonable number, might be 10 or 20,
Okay, ma'am.
to find the a sample size. Okay. But this was heard earlier even by me. But you had already quoted Cochrane's model.
Okay.
Is there a specific model name or any article to substantiate this, ma'am?
Yes,
Why?
madam. There
Because
is one
I'm
more.
searching for it. I'm searching for it. That is why
Yes,
I had asked.
Sharmila madam is also equally given a contribution of
Ah.
her. I have that formula just for a few minutes. I want to share with you. I have another formula which is given by Sharmila madam in her book. One more is in formula. Uh, which we have discussed with Vijay sir yesterday, but I have not saved that particular PPT.
Maybe you can share
Madam,
later.
yeah, later I can share with you, ma'am.
Yeah,
If
we
I
will
find
post it.
that, I will share support.
Yeah,
Surely.
I will post it in the group. That is not
Okay,
an
ma'am.
issue.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other problems you encounter? This is for the discussion. Okay, I'm just asking the research scholars. Any other questions you encounter, or when you fix the sample size?
Good day, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Ma'am, first of all, thank you so much for making us easily understand about calculation of this sampling size and also tools available, ma'am.
Yes,
In the
ma'am.
main fibers which I have attended, I have observed that these scholars often use this convenient sampling, ma'am, as the sampling
Okay.
method. And every examiners used to question that why it is used and why the research is justified. In this context of choosing the sampling size and determining sampling error, if the use of convenient sampling is appropriate, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, when you say convenient sampling, the people will expect the proper reliability and the proper, validity should be given to the scale, and it should not be, maybe they expect flawless data must be received. So when it is convenient sampling, as I told you, ma'am, see, I'm going to take a data and the satisfaction and complete, the facility provided by the metro station. Okay. So if I choose convenient sampling, maybe the person who's have a first time experience having a one ride in a train and the person who have daily going to the particular metro will be I will choose in simultaneously both. Okay, so when I choose randomly the highest number, those who have only first time they went for a metro. So by the time the convenience sampling, whatever the data that you take, that will not represent the complete, what we say, mean score of the entire population, ma'am. So that is a problem. When you go to a convenience sampling method, we have a problem. The universal, the population mean may not near to the sample mean. So that is a problem, ma'am. So the people of encountering such questions in the time of YYC, you should justify. There are other such tests which is support me the samples, whatever the data, whatever that I have collected, which is reliable, trustable to apply for other tests also. So like that, you should be confident enough to give a lot of statistical support to tell that the chosen data are flawless.
You can go for judgmental or purposive sampling, where you can say, okay, just say if you use the same example as metro ride, you can just specify how many years, if they have used for, or to say maybe 1 year. So maybe you can just have a criteria to select, or if they are aware of the problem. Suppose you are doing it on stock market, maybe for how many months they are trading, what is their knowledge. So based on certain criteria, you can just do. So instead of convenience, convenience merely says that X and Y, A, B, C, D, anyone can be part of it. Yeah, they sometimes may or may not be aware of what the problem. So my suggestion would be to go for a judgmental or purposive sampling that suits your objective.
Just adding word, the examples what madam said, ma'am, while you have to do a screening of the data, ma'am. See, for example, when you though you go for a convenience sampling method, as madam said, judgmental sampling, the people who have at least 1 year of experience riding in a metro, you can take those people. So the mean score will be very high, and it will be always supporting to the population mean. So quota sampling, in the sense you give a equal opportunity for all the population, and you bifurcate it, and you will take a each respondent from each subsets of that particular quota. Okay, you can have the reducing the error or sampling error. It's highest possibilities there.
Understood, ma'am. Thank you so much for the clarification, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you.
you for asking questions to us, ma'am. Any other doubts?
I wish the students to participate. Maybe you can just clarify, or you can also add on some points, not just need to clarify. Or I don't think there are any other
Any
questions.
question?
Yeah, we will just wind up. Thank you, Nagalata. Actually, I think you are not well. And even then, because we had,
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for
so
giving
I just
opportunity.
wanted to have one session, and then we will continue from Jan onwards.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Um, Ma'am, this is Apurva.
Yes, madam.
No, I just wanted to formally thank you and also personally for having such a good session about probability, because personally I have found probability very difficult and little hesitant to learn about it as well. But today I really understood why do we really consider convenient sampling, and then what and all are the things which we have to really know before starting the sampling methods. So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Shanti ma'am, as well, to really add on to the session.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Madras University Commerce Alumni Association
and Shri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shasun Jain College for Women, I extend my sincere gratitude to everyone who contributed to the successful conduct of today's seminar. We are deeply thankful to our esteemed resource person, Dr. A.S. Nagalatha ma'am, for her insightful and scholarly presentation. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us even when you were unwell today. Your academic experience and such clear explanation of the concepts would have really benefited all the participants today. We express our sincere thanks to the program directors, Dr. R. Shanti ma'am, convener and professor and head, Department of Commerce, University of Madras, Dr. A.G. Vijayanarayanan sir, and Dr. Haridayal Sharma sir, assistant professors, aided, research supervisors and guides, PG and Research Department of Commerce, DG Vaishnav College for their guidance, leadership, and constant support in organizing this webinar. Our sincere appreciation to the organizing committee, Dr. C.K. Deepa ma'am, Ms. Jebia Samuel ma'am, Ms. Preeti Rose ma'am for their meticulous planning, coordination, and efforts behind the screens. We thank all the participants for the presence and for making this event even more valuable. Thank you and have a very wonderful day. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, for giving a wonderful opportunity for me. I really thank every individual from Sankalral, Shashu Jain who have organized this work. And I thank my guru and other my, expertised people, Vijay Narayanan sir and Haridayal Sharma sir, who were joining with me for all the past session and supporting for this research travel. And I'm really happy that I'm part of it. We'll expect the future we'll have a very good session or giving our best for this research genre. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Shanti, ma'am, for giving this as memorable, learning to my life, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. I think the feedback form is
Everyone,
posted in the
Thank you,
link.
everyone. Today, thank you for your participation. We have posted a feedback link in the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback link, and by this weekend, you'll receive the certificates. Thank you for your participation. Thank you, everyone. Happy weekend.